I will now teach you how to negotiate effectively with your enemies and potential allies. I see there as being two different approaches to negotiation, one stemming from the assumption that the other side is acting rationally and selfishly in trying to maximize its position, whilst the other from the assumption that people are neither fully rational nor completely selfish. Both are important, but I will give you something additional to contemplate. We can argue that humans have two systems of thought. System 1 revolves around emotion. Decisions made in System 1 are instinctive, fast, and highly emotional. System 2 is focused on logic. Decisions made in System 2 are slower and more deliberative. Out of these two, System 1 is more powerful. It steers our rational thoughts. System 1's feelings are the principal sources of the beliefs and choices of System 2. We react emotionally to a suggestion or question, then that System 1 reaction creates the System 2 answer. Understanding this will be useful to you. If you can manipulate your enemy's System 1 thinking, it will have a direct correlation to their System 2 thinking, and therefore modify their responses. Control System 1, and you control the person. The two-system way of thinking comes under the second assumption I mentioned earlier. I will provide you with the tools you need to arm yourself for both assumptions. It would not be untrue to say that Assumption 1 can be used more in a business setting, and Assumption 2 in conflict. Nevertheless, both must be learned. 3 criteria that should be kept in mind when negotiating is as followed. First, it should be efficient. Second, it should produce a wise agreement if agreement is possible. And third, it should improve or at the very least not damage the relationship with parties. In negotiation, both parties occupy a position, argue for it, and come to a compromise. However, when you occupy a position, you restrict yourself. The more you commit to a position, the more you argue to defend it. This may hinder your cooperation with the party in the future, as you completely shut off one position that may be necessary depending on the ever-changing future. Furthermore, as more attention is given to positions, less attention is given to the smaller concerns of the parties. Because of this, agreement becomes less likely, and in the case of agreement, it would most likely reflect a splitting of the differences between final positions, as opposed to a solution that meets the interests of both parties to a higher extent. Taking fixed positions often results in an agreement that is subpar. Stay fluid and open instead. More manipulation tactics will be released soon. If you wish to learn from this video, write down and analyze what I have just said. Ask yourself whether you agree with it or disagree. Investigate these matters thoroughly before continuing on to the next lesson.